For 50 years, this church has been a church for the community, caring for those who are in need, supporting families, coming beside people who need support in crisis situations. Back in 2001, the leadership of the church felt like God was calling them to take this step to build a worship center. But we hit these roadblocks along the way. For 8 years, there was city zoning problems. And then finally, when we were able to start building, we hit the recession of 2008 to 2010. So we were only able to build a parking lot. It didn't work out. There were a lot of those moments where you wondered, if this is what God's called us to do, why did we hit these roadblocks along the way? Did we get it wrong? I became the senior pastor in 2014, and there was this vision for the church to continue to expand that I just felt on my shoulders. We began looking for different groups to work with and try to find how do we take that right step forward. We kept hearing Visioneering's name come up. And so we asked them to come in just to begin that conversation of how would we move forward as a church. We were all won over just by the vision of the team, the creativity. They really wanted to know us as a church, who we were uniquely, and then walk us through that process. And so after going through that process, it felt really clear. As we started working with them, one of the things I appreciated in the base camp experience was they began to see who we were and the unique values and community around us so that they could really make sure this project represented us and our calling in the community. As we moved through the project, they continued to customize it. So many of the things that were foreign to me as far as working with cities and going through the architectural process, it's so daunting and intimidating to think of going into a project like this. It's not something in my background, going to seminary, that anyone ever walks you through. And there's so many elements of a journey that no one prepared me for. But I was grateful that Visioneering has gone on the journey before, and they were able to take step by step through the process, even to set out a roadmap of here's where we're headed. So I knew what to expect and I knew how to endure. I think that for me was a game changer and was able to help me be sustained through this process. After such a challenging year and not being able to be inside, this week was our VBS week, and seeing hundreds of kids now gather in this building to sing and to be together and to hear of the good news of God's love, it's been incredible. When we wonder sometimes, are people really going to come back? And what does the church look like moving forward? This was one of those moments for me where it gave me so much hope and reminded me that families still need the hope that's offered through the Church of Jesus. And this building's going to be utilized for decades to come for that process. What was so cool is hearing from other people outside of the church that continued to confirm, like, oh, you made a good choice in Visioneering, and seeing the fruit of Visioneering's work. This wasn't a journey that was, just full of pain. There's so much hope and good that's going to be ahead. For me, that was a 50-year reminder of God's faithfulness. It felt unreal. It felt like, I can't believe we're finally here after so long.